record this anybody who missed. So this is a great recap. What we're going to do today is we're going to recap the top money-making points from the productivity school. Okay, the productivity school that we just had here for the past 3 days. Anytime you can get yourself out to an MFO live event, it's probably worth the inconvenience. It's probably worth the hassle of the plane ticket and the hotel and the Ubers and everything. The reason is we had folks that came in from out of town who did the long drive, the flights, and by the end, they were high as a kite. They had already found one or two or three money-making ideas where they just couldn't wait to get back home and use. In fact, some of them had started using it right after the event was done and had already made more money, got better results than before. Okay. So let me resend the link. They are saying, so the first thought that we want to start with is the real estate business is 90% mindset. Okay. The results that you get are 90% mindset. Okay. So I'm bringing that up because as we look to the sources, and sometimes folks are thinking about what to say, what groups to call, we forget that it's really all starts up here, guys and gals. It starts right up here, upstairs. Because if you have a really powerful mindset, 90% of the time, guess what? Business is going to come to you. Guess what? You're going to have a great prospecting session. You're going to have a great appointment. You're going to have a great conversation. Why? Because you've got a strong mindset. So Larry Kozak started. Welcome, Sol Maz. Thank you, guys. I know you're getting some trouble logging in, but now we're in. And so Vadim, welcome. The real estate business is 90% mindset, 5% who you talk to, and 5% what you say. Okay, 5% who you talk to and 5% what you say. And you say, well, coach, what does that mean? What do I do with that? How do I get a mindset that strong? Because I need it, because it's going to give me 90% of my results in the real estate business. Well, here it is. You want to draw a circle on your page. And for those of you who are at the retreat, you'll remember this in your notes. At the top of the circle, self-talk. Self-talk. What is your self-talk like? What does it look like? How do you sound to yourself? Forget about to everyone else. What are the sorts of things are you saying to yourself? And then as you go down the circle at, I guess that would be 3 o'clock. Okay, midway down the circle, write down my mindset. Your self-talk directly leads to your mindset. Okay. And the example could be, gosh, I'm a powerful salesperson. I make tons of money in real estate. Everybody signs my contracts. Guess what? That's a good mindset, isn't it? And if I have that mindset over and over, it leads to it. The self-talk, it leads to the mindset. I can do this. People love hiring me. I'm going to ask for signatures today, because what does it do? Right down at the bottom of your circle, my actions. My actions at 6 o'clock. On your circle, my actions. If you have a strong mindset, it leads you to take better actions. Are you struggling right now getting into action? Are you watching this video going, oh gosh, I haven't done anything all week? I haven't done anything all afternoon. Brandon's laughing because it's Friday when we're shooting this. Well, look back at the circle. What was your mindset like this week? What was your mindset like earlier today? Chances are it wasn't at the top of its game. And then from my actions, you can write down at the side at 9 o'clock, the side of your circle, my results. My results. Okay. People are always saying, gosh, I didn't get the result I wanted. I didn't get the sales that I wanted. I didn't make a listing. I didn't do it. That's a result. But where do your results come from? You've got the circle right there to show you It comes from your actions. Now, some folks who are been around the system for a while, they'll make this into a little slide and they'll actually post this on the wall in their prospecting station. And they'll do that to remind them they've got to keep on this wheel so that the wheel keeps moving. Remember, every day, how much does it cost you to work on your self-talk, which would lead to a mindset, which leads to your actions, which leads to your results? How much does it cost you? The answer, zero. But how much would it cost for not doing it, for not putting in good thoughts, for not doing your affirmations, for not saying great things to yourself? How much could that cost you? And in this market, a lot of money right now. So just a quick reminder as we're getting started to focus on that wheel because it leads to a lot of production. One of the things we talked about was, every single day you're planting seeds for your business. You're planting seeds, not going, where's my harvest? It's 9 a.m. Come on, it's harvest time. It's Friday. I'm here to harvest. Well, some of you are harvesting closings. Some of you are harvesting pendings today, but that would be a result of seeds that you planted 90 days ago. Okay, 90 days ago. So you want to really look at that when you're looking at, am I walking into my office looking for where is my harvest when I planted no seeds? Or, man, I'm going to go to work today planting seeds. I'm going to go all the way to 5, 6 o'clock planting seeds all day. So the next thought that we spent a good chunk of time on at the productivity school is you don't get what you want in life, you get what you earn. Okay? You don't get what you want in life, you get what you earn. Okay? So at this point, Coach Larry was walking around the room and he had the microphone and he's asking people, so what do you want to earn? And what do you want to earn? And what do you, and everyone was laughing. They all had a number. Oh, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I want $1 million. Remember that, Femi? Everyone's magic number was $1 million. It wasn't even less than that. Right? So everyone's saying $1 million. And Larry's laughing. Okay, $1 million. They were so loud. They were talking with their friends. They were joking how much they want to earn. But then the next question, things got a little silent. What changes do I have to make to increase my overall productivity? What changes do I have to make to increase my overall productivity? After that question, Brandon, you could hear a pin drop in the room. Silence. And now they're looking at each other, right, Solmaz? They're looking, going, I don't know. What is he talking about? Productivity? What's that? Things I got to do to increase? I don't know about that. I don't want to do that. So we have to make a point to say, okay, write down right now. You don't have to share with the group. Well, what do you really want to earn in the fourth quarter? That's one number. But then another big number, write down beside it, what do you want to earn in 2025? What's that number look like? For some of you, it is $1 million. For some of you, it's 500. For some of you, it's 700. For some of you, it's 300. Whatever you write down, that number is usually a bigger number than most people earn in your town. And you know what, Solmaz? Maybe if you remember at the meeting we had this week, there were people, I met 2 doctors in the room who were coming back to sign up for coaching. One of them was sitting up near Femi, a doctor. I said, wait a second. You're a doctor? I'm a doctor for 20-something years, but I want to learn about coaching. I got my real estate license. Okay. I thought we tell all of our kids to go be a doctor. I thought every family who comes to Canada wants their kids to be a doctor. Right, Maurice?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, Solmaz is saying. Maurice, we had 2 doctors trying to sign up for coaching. They weren't even like you guys. They were trying to become a coaching client. They couldn't even wrap their head around what you guys already have, which is a coaching ribbon. and they're a doctor. So when I say that, when you look at your number, be real proud today to be a real estate person. When you put your badge on and you have your business cards and you hand them out, be really proud about handing these cards out today, because other people are dying to take that badge from you. Other people are lining up, spent 16 years in school, post-secondary, to become a doctor. And now they want to trade that and take your badge and knock on doors and cold call Femi. Can you even wrap your head around that? I'm still speechless. We had IT specialists who are specialists in engineering. They're all lined up at the back. Can I get into coaching, please? Someone in my office makes 180,000. That's more than I make. And I work 6 days a week, 11 hours. So what you now know the number. We now know it's one of the highest numbers for anybody in your city, maybe in your family. Maybe they look at you and you're the one who's going to make the most money in 2025 out of the whole family. So now that we know the number, what changes are you willing to make? Write those down. Email them to your coach. Maurice will send it to your coach as well. Am I willing to start making those changes now? Not yes. Someone says yes. I'm ready to make those changes. Larry gave the example of a change. I'll give you an example of Larry said he feels great when he's dressed up. He just feels great. 7 a.m. He's showered. He's in a suit and a tie, white shirt. He's pressed his shirt. He's shined his shoes. He's combed his hair and he's shaved. He just says that makes him feel so great. His results get better when he's dressed really well versus when he's dressed like he's going to Costco. When he's dressed like he's going to Costco, nothing too bad about it, but he just doesn't feel great like making a lot of money. He just feels like browsing around Costco. We also talked about some of the things that you might have to change may be difficult and they may not even be fair, but life's not fair. Birds eat the worms. That's not fair for the birds. I mean, for the worms, but it's a fair deal for the birds. Nature, not necessarily fair. But making that number that you wrote down for 2025, will you have to make some changes that sometimes will get you better results, but at the time will seem like a challenge, of course. We had the panels on stage where the top producers shared that. They said, listen, all you see here on stage is the final product. DK talked about how he has struggled in coming up in the business. He's not always, had all of the money that he has. We had Bantu talked about the same thing. There were times he didn't have all the money that he has, but now they do, and they see the finished product. It was interesting. They also asked the panel, what are you working on now? They all said they're struggling now. Why? Oh, well, I'm struggling. I'm trying to get to a new goal. I'm trying to get to a new number. Okay? And they're struggling right now. So what are you struggling with? If you're not struggling at all, then you're not growing. You should feel some struggle or some resistance in your day. That means you're out of your comfort zone. And one of the topics we talked about was door knocking. Remember that? Door knocking. We talked about how door knocking, sure, it brings you a high level of rejection, but it also brings you the most results. You're face to face, you're meeting people. High rejection, but high results. Look at the sources that you use, guys and gals. The higher the rejection of the source, the higher the result. The lower the rejection, the lower the result. So the lowest, I sent out a Facebook post. That is the lowest level of rejection. I mean, maybe people don't even like it. That could be pretty rejecting. I didn't get enough likes on my picture, Brandon. Hey, that's not a hardcore rejection, but it's also not much result. But if you go and door knock and expired, hey, get out of here. Where's your card? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my agent. You shouldn't be here. High level of rejection, but also a high level of result. Honey, calm down. Let's hear what he has to say. We're not going with your friend. Come on in. Come over here. Thanks for coming to my house. Don't worry about my husband. What do you do to sell homes? We'd like to hear more. Also a high result. And many of you on this call can tell me stories about Dwayne's right there, Femi's there. For sure, they've got stories galore. Bekir for sure has stories, all of you guys, of how you had high rejection led to high result. So the example they had at the event, which was pretty powerful, was from Mr. Lorne Goldman. He's a real estate agent out in BC, very wealthy, common knowledge. He owns apartment buildings in Toronto, very successful real estate agent for 40 years. He goes out every day, and part of his schedule that he loves is door knocking. And do you guys remember who were there the story about how he door knocked a house, listed it, and sold it? And Maurice, it was $28 million. 28 million. And how did he get it? It was it was written up that it was the highest sale in the history of that area of Vancouver. Actually, Brandon might even know where it was. We'll find out. But 28 million is a big price tag wherever part of Canada you're in. And what did he do? He walked up to the house and knocked on the door. Same script that you guys all use. So the point is, they asked him, Lauren, you don't need the money. Why do you do it? He said, because I just want to hit a number of transactions every year. It's just a little challenge for me. I want to hit a certain number of deals. Okay, good. But Lauren, you don't even need to door knock. You don't even need to leave your office. Why don't you just call people? He said, because door knocking works. It just works. I go out, I knock on people's door, I get business, I come home. So are you looking at what works in your business? There are things that work, or none, you all wouldn't be here. Are you analyzing what works well and doing more of it? Or are you just skipping by, like, oh, I just do this thing and then I got something here and one time I got it? But no, how about over the weekend, you really analyze what works well for you and write down maybe some ways you can do it more or enhance doing it. Okay. We talked about why MFO agents succeed, and I'll run through these kind of quickly. MFO agents succeed because they focus on generating new business daily. And if you guys are around MFO, you know that. All your MFO buddies who wear the ribbons, that's the first thing you guys all talk about. How many contacts do you do a day? How many appointments did you go on this month? Other agents don't talk like this. That's MFO agents. They say they're home, they're happy, they really want to sell. They're home, they're happy, they really want to sell, and they move on to the next contact. Larry talked about how, he wanted to look like a billionaire when he's out there in the public. When you're out doing your real estate persona, his mindset was, I want to look like a billionaire when I'm pumping my gas, when I'm walking down the street. He wants to feel the cool breeze on his face in the winter and the warm sunshine on his face in the summer. He wants to be out in the public so long that he gets a tan. Imagine that. That was his thinking. He just wants to be out in his real estate persona every day. So how often are you out in your real estate persona every day? Do you feel like a billionaire when you're out there doing it? Right? Are you proud, like we were talking about? The next thing that MFO agents do to succeed, they work on daily understanding the market stats. We used a couple stats at the clinic to really influence people. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, 1,332 homes expired on the 1st of October. So by you overpricing your property, can you see you might be 1,333? Wow. Ooh, ouch. I didn't know that was 1,333. Okay. We talked about how there's been over 25,000 active listings on the Toronto Real Estate Board right now. And out of that group, 4,800 sold last month. That means only 4,800 real estate agents got paid, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and I'm one of them. Do you really want to list with an agent who's not on that list? Do you want to be one of the 4,800 that sold because there's going to be another 4,800 in October? Or do you want to be part of the balance, the 25,000 that are sitting there wondering, scratching their heads when they're ever going to sell? That's just one statistic that you could pull off your real estate board right now and find. How do you sell homes, right? Using the listings right now. Gosh, coach, they're not selling. When I list them, they don't sell. Well, here's three things you need to be a hot listing right now. You'll write it down this way. Number one, gotta have a great price. It's gotta have a great price. What's that great price? Well, it's got to be 3 to 5% below all the actives. It's got to be 3 to 5% below all the actives. And if you think about it, right, those active listings are all overpriced if they're on the market. So that's a good way to price a property right from the get-go. You've got to be 3 to 5% below all of the actives. Next, number two, it's got to be in great condition. It's got to be in a great condition. Larry brought up the example of when we all have gone and sold a car on Kijiji or Craigslist or Auto Trader. Remember when we were younger, maybe some of us did that too. Maybe not so much today, right, Dwayne? We get go to Canadian Tire, get the Armor All, shine up the tires, vacuum out the car, all the crumbs and quarters start coming out. Well, if we did that to sell a car, a used car, to try to make it look good, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what are you going to do to make your house look decent? It's got to look great. It's got to look pristine. People do a lot more to sell a used car than what you've done to sell your house. Okay, so the condition. And the third gotta, it's got to be easy access. It's got to be easy access right now. With only 1 in 5 homes selling in today's market, Mr. Seller, they're going to skip past yours so fast if they book a showing and they can't get in. It needs to be instant. Oh, but I need 2 more hours notice. I need 24 hours. I need you to be there when there's a showing. Listen, easy access, not the hardest access to get into like Fort Knox. They will move on. How many listings are active right now? 25,000. Okay. A quick checklist for your overpriced listings. What you could say, Larry brought up a good reminder, is that if you have a listing and you know it's overpriced, give it back to them. If there's going to be no action, if there's going to be no offers, and you know it won't sell, why are you holding on to it? There's no action, no offers, and you know it won't sell. Why are you holding on? But here's the good news. If you're the one who initiates the cancellation, then there's a strong likelihood they're going to continue to work with you and you'll get to relist it later. Okay, when the market improves, Mr. Seller, we're not getting the results that are in line with what you're expecting. I'll be the first one to tell you, let's cut this right now. We've got all the photos taken, all the measurements, we've done all the background work. When the market shifts, we'll be happy to put it back on the market for you. I'll send you a cancellation. Yes, Dwayne.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So overprice this and give it back. So I'm assuming these are people that are probably low motivation if they're overpriced.
True. Yes, this is the one where you've made the call that this is not going to sell. They're not motivated.
Right.
And when that's the case, you'd better be you to give it back, because if you leave that person to expire, Dwayne, it's the chances of you getting it back as a listing agent are slim. And then you stand a chance of losing that client. Okay. So call them up, say, I'm sending you a cancellation today, and then you have a chance of getting that business back, or even keeping them as a past client. Okay, so that's good. The next thing that we talked about, any comments so far, guys? I know I'm going through this quickly, but you'll get a copy of the recording as well. Here's what agents who are not successful in real estate are doing. They're not consistent with their daily prospecting. They're not. Okay, they don't have a prospecting cockpit. They don't. So we talked about having a prospecting cockpit, okay? So some place that is, you've invested some money, a good computer, some nice screens, right? Maybe multiple screen setup, a standing desk. You're looking up tall so you can have your scripts up ahead, so you're forces you to stand and look up, right? That's called a cockpit where you can make, remember, some of you want to make 1 million, some of you want to make 500, some of you want to make big numbers. It's your prospecting cockpit that's going to take you there. If you think of it like a plane, that's the place that you're going to fly to that number. Think of the amount of hours you're going to spend in your prospecting cockpit. Do you feel like $1 million when you walk in there? Okay, for some of you, do you feel like 3 or 5 million bucks? Why, coach? It's such a big number. You're exaggerating with me. No, I'm not. That's how much you could make over the next 5 to 10 years. Many people have done it. You can make $10 million in that spot in the next 7 to 10 years. Agents spend more on their dining room set than they do on the area they prospect. $7,000 to $8,000 dining room set. Oh, I gotta get 8 chairs here. Beautiful. I gotta get a cabinet, display all my china. Oh yeah, I gotta get a chandelier for $3,000. Ooh. And dust it, once a year. I gotta get all that to eat dinner there. What, 2 times a year with people you don't even like? Right? And that room becomes the office. That room becomes where all the envelopes go. That's what that room is. But we spend more money on that room than we do in the room that makes all the money. Right? Prospecting cockpit. Okay. Agents who are not in coaching and losing money like crazy, they're just sitting waiting for the phone to ring. They have no accountability. There's no qualifying appointments. They talked about that. They feel the pain of going out on appointments and not getting any business at all. Next topic was the drunk monkey. You can write down the drunk monkey. Now, the drunk monkey, raise your hands if you guys have ever heard about this before. Yeah, Brandon. Oh, Morris, all of you guys, Dwayne. So the drunk monkey, Dwayne, we talk it. This is a big, huge area that agents have to overcome and overcome quickly. What is a drunk monkey? It's that little voice telling you not to do the thing. It's that little voice telling you what you're doing is, it's telling all this negativity just to get you not making money. If you think about it, that's the drunk monkey's goal. And in fact, when you Google it scientifically, it's there to protect you from danger, right? Don't go out of the house. A car could drive out. Oh, there's Dwayne. What's that, Dwayne? What are you showing us? Your attitude on not calling is all in your head, and it's the problem. So fix it by calling is the answer and the solution. Look, Dwayne made a sign. To bypass his drunk monkey, he made a sign. This is very good. Each of your drunk monkeys tells you something different, tells you something. I'll give you an example. Don't call those people. You're going to bother them. You're probably on the do not call list. They'll report you. You crazy? No one does that anymore. Don't door knock. Nobody does that anymore. That is so old fashioned. Go on the internet or something. Start Googling. Buy Google ads. Come on. That's an example of the drunk monkey. You're about to do something that's going to cause you to make more money and be productive, but the drunk monkey is causing you to second guess, doubt yourself, and is really, really negative, right? Don't ask them to sign the contract. Don't even call them back for follow-up. They told you Friday, but you know what? Be nice. Give them until next Friday. Don't bother them now. It's 12 o'clock. That's too early. Drunk monkey, thank you for trying to protect me. I'm going to give them a call. Drunk monkey, I understand what you're trying to do. I get it. That's fine. Why don't you go climb a mountain right now? I've got some leads to call. Give the drunk monkey something to do. Drunk monkey, thank you for trying to protect me, but I think I haven't been hit by a car door knocking yet, so I'm going to probably take my chances this afternoon. Okay? Drunk Monkey, thank you. No one's actually pulled a gun on me while I was out calling people, so I appreciate it. I know someone pulled a gun on someone this morning downtown, but I think I'm going to be okay in my prospected cockpit. Thanks for looking out for me. Okay. So write down what your drunk monkey tells you and recognizes it as you go throughout the day. Acknowledge it. Just say, that is a weird thought. I got all pumped up from the coaching call, and now I went to do it, and now it's telling me not to do it. Where's that voice coming from? Shut it down and move on, like Dwayne's little sign. Maybe make yourself a little sign. Next point. Best marketing you could do is to market yourself. So we talked about someone asked, what about marketing, right? What about my marketing budget? Well, if you're making $800,000 a year or $1 million, Shiv Bansal was there. He makes, I think, 3 point something million. Sure, you could spend a couple $100,000 on marketing. But if you don't, you're not making, say, $1 million plus yet, then market yourself. You are the best marketing. Dressed up nice with your business cards, print out some listings that sold, staple your card to it, and go meet 20 to 30 people around a sold listing. That's marketing. That's marketing yourself. That's the best marketing you could do. And if you're talking to people, the script that got a lot of listings was, I'm looking for listings. How's the market right now? Well, the market's really great. Right now, I'm looking for listings. Who do you know that could use my help? We actually cut it down, right? Who do you know that could buy or sell that could use my help? I'm looking for listings. Okay. There's 78,000 realtors in Toronto. 4,800 got paid. I'd like to be one of them. There's no bad market. There's just overpriced listings. Okay. Shiv gave us that kind of example when he was on stage. Some people say it's a bad market. It's slow. It's not, well, no. There is no such thing as a bad market. There's just overpriced listings. Those 4,800 that sold, the buyer thought it was a decent enough price or a good price, and the seller priced it and it actually sold. That's 4,800. How many is it for your market, Brandon? How much is it for yours, Dwayne? Okay, you guys need to write that down and say, I don't need 4,800. I just need 5. Right? I need 5. I need 4 of them. 4 of them, right? Simple plan to make a lot of money is to take one listing extra per month. Calculate that by your average commission. So Larry used the example of 1 deal a month. Okay. Oh, that's so low. Man, that sounds pathetic. Well, let's look at the numbers. One sale at $1,250,000 per month. Okay. One sale at 2.5% commission, because it's so easy right now to get your full commission. If you're having trouble getting your full commission, let me know, because it is super easy because agents are not selling. Listings are not selling. So you should be getting your 2.5% easy now. So 2.5 on 1.250 is about $28,000 per month. Okay. That equals around $308,000 for the year. If you just did 1 deal a month at 1.250, and then out of that group, if just 6 of them sold at 2.5%, you could collect it on the other side, you get another $100,000. That's $408,000 with just 1 listing a month. Every single person watching can do 1 more a month. Or if you don't have any, or 5 or 6, start getting regular doing 1. Because 1 will lead to a lot more. We talked about the example of Sanmir Singh, a premier coaching client. And if any of you remember, he got his real estate license in October of 2023. That's not even that long ago. It's October 2024. That's only like 1 year. He joins coaching in January. Okay. And he's done 320 doors per day, for 40 contacts a day. And what has he got? 12 listings taken or 12 sales, 4 buyers sales. I think it was 16 sales, and he's made $200,000. Somewhere in and around, right, Tomaz? Like Femi is nodding. He's like, I remember that story. And he got his license in October. He was right there. No, they were not making this up. And what does he do? Doesn't have anything else to do. He spends all day talking to people, finding people to talk to. But that's a good example of just one transaction a month. Keep it real simple. Can you just focus in on that? That will lead you to $500,000 a year in most markets. Okay, most markets will do that. It's a simple plan. The next thing we talked about real quick was, the importance of, you could write down, when you're communicating 3 things all the time. 3 things. Number 1, your words. Write down beside it 7%. Number 2 is your tone. Beside that, write down 38%. And the third is your body language. Your body language. Write down 55%. So remember, as you're going out and prospecting and talking to people and presenting, your words, 7%. Okay, your tone, a lot more, 38%. So when you think of that, how do you make money with that? Well, think about using your tonality. We talked about smiling and nodding your head a lot. That's using your body, isn't it? Pointing. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you know what to do. Tap the page. Tap where they need to sign. You know what to do. That price over there, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Absolutely not. Wow. Big mistake. This, good idea. Oh, yeah. All day. What am I doing? I'm taking advantage of the science. The fact that my words were not much. What did I say? Good idea, bad idea, wow. I'm talking like a Neanderthal. But my tone, right? Oh, wow. This is great. Beautiful house. Wow. I haven't seen a roof like this. When did you put this on? Oh, honey, he likes our house. I like this guy. He's good. Wow, this is a really great house. You should hire me to sell it. Please give me the job. I promise I'll do a really good job. Hire me. It's the right thing to do. I'll shake on it. What do you think, honey? Should we go with this guy? You're doing the right thing. Smart decision. Pick me. I'll get you the money. Are you taking advantage of your tone and your body language? Right? Or are you just, good house, guys, really good. Markets are pretty good. If you guys decide, you could list it with me and I'll send you the paperwork. I'll docu-sign it. Or do you want me to just drop it off? You know what? I'll just email it to you. And you want me to call you on Monday? I could do that. Actually, why don't I just call you on Tuesday then? Or I'll send you a text. You could do that, but that would involve lots of more words, but it would have terrible tone and terrible zero body language. So if you take advantage of your tone and your body language, really put your heart into these scripts, really breathe some life into the conversations you're having. Remember your average commission check. It's good to write down your average commission check and keep it in front of you at all times, because every conversation you have will lead you to that amount. Are you putting in $28,000 of breathing the life into that conversation? Are you putting in $15,000 to every door knock? So what Larry was talking about is bringing the excitement to their door, right? Bringing that excitement to their phone, okay? How many conversations are they going to have today that are going to be so blah, maybe not even good? But then you call And you are the one breath of fresh air. You've worked on your scripts. You breathed in your heart and soul into that conversation. And guess what? You have a great tone. You're smiling. You're agreeing. You're nodding your head. You're giving them, wow, good for you. Fantastic. Just like it says in the script, right? And you've got your body into it. The results are a lot better. And probably the last one for today that we can leave off with was, you know, recognizing that simple language can help you land a lot more deals. The one we talked about was the line of, I've got some good news. I've got some good news. Simple. If you're struggling with your lead follow-up or you don't know what to say to your database, start with, I've got some good news. Hey, Solmaz, I'm calling with some really good news. What's that? I'm still in the real estate business. Yeah, so I knew that. Well, I'm still in the business, and right now interest rates dropped 3 times. It's a fantastic time to get in and buy an investment property. Who do you know that could look to take advantage of the market right now? Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody else. You seem pretty fired up about it. Okay. So you could use starting with some good news. Who doesn't want good news today? With all that's going on out there, who would not like to hear some good news? Okay. The other one that we talked about was the best close ever. The best close ever. You could insert this close anywhere and it will work. So, Mr. and Ms. Seller, we're only calling you today because we're working with buyers who'd like to buy in this area. And if one of them wanted to make you an offer, better yet, a cash offer, could you and I do some business? Best close ever. You could use it anywhere. The only reason I'm calling you today is because we're working with buyers, a lot of them actually, that are looking to buy in this area. And if one of them wanted to make you an offer, a cash offer, could you and I do some business? Right? The other one we got was, would it be okay if I noticed a change in the market? Could I give you a call? If I noticed a change in the market, do you mind if I give you a call? If I notice a change in house prices in this area, could I give you a call? Okay. And so when you look at some of these things that we're talking about today, if you implemented a few of them over the weekend, next week, this month, could you make more money? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So what you can do, pick a couple of them that really resonated, highlight them, make a little plan how you'll start using them, and send it to your coach. And I'll make sure you use them. And we will remind you, not just next month, but the months after to make sure, hey, were you doing that? Remember you said it was going to make you money? So let's go through and just quickly ask. I'm just curious, which ones was resonated for you guys here? Brandon, you've been taking good notes. You're a great note taker. Which one kind of jumped out for you?
So I've never even heard of the wheel before, but definitely, the connection to what is my self-talk and what am I saying to myself, and if I haven't done anything today, chances are my mindset is to blame. So really looking at that, and like, did I fall off my pre-prospecting routine? Did I do my affirmations? Was I role playing? And why did I fall off? Why am I not connecting the two activities?
Brilliant. That's it right there. And some people, Brandon, they have that wheel up on the wall. So you walk in and go, whoa, 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 wait a sec. I'm falling off the wheel here. Okay, today's going to be the day. I can do this. People love hiring me. Start with the self-talk, and then it will keep funneling around. So Maz, how about you? What for your take from?
Mine was the monkey, the drunk monkey,
Yes.
because like during like yesterday, I was talking to one of the client coaches, Harv,
Uh-huh.
and then I was talking to him, how do you do your prospecting? And he said cold calling, door knock, and I was like, cold calling, does it work? I thought it never works. And he said, of course it does work. But my drunk monkey always was telling me, Don't bother with cold calling. Never gonna pick up the phone. No one is gonna list with you. No, it's very old fashioned. It works for America, doesn't work for Canada.
See?
Oh, yeah, but yeah, all day long. So I never bothered cold calling. And once I saw her was like such a strong fan of cold calling, I was
Yes.
like, get out of the room. Really?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, even more than door knocking.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some people call it digital door knocking. Some people make 7 figures right here in town in Vaughan. I can give you 24 names that make 7 figures since the past 20 years cold calling. Cold calling. Yeah, the 2 headsets. So, and their mindset is this makes me a lot of money. Prospecting equals income. Cold calling makes me rich. 40 contacts a day makes me rich. Rich people cold call. Like that, you just change the dialogue and then changes how you're reacting. Good one. That was a good one, Solmaz. Dwayne, how about you? What did you pick up from what we were talking about?
I think what I picked up is just probably the part about self-talk. Yeah, what you tell yourself and how much are you actually losing by not doing the self-talk. And, it's all fine and dandy. I always say I'm going to do the self-talk and I just stopped doing it.
Yeah,
And,
it's
yeah,
important. Like what we said, thank you, Dwayne. Have that wheel out there and look at it all the time and say, whoa, it's the self-talk that starts the whole wheel or stops it dead in its tracks.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
Okay, Maurice, how about you? Thanks for
My
showing up
thing
here.
is listing 3 to 5% below active.
Mm.
I think that's critical when you've got a marketplace that has 25,000 listings out there.
Isn't that something? And doesn't that give you power, Maurice, now when you go to your next listing conversation, the listing appointment? Yeah, well, Maurice, you know what I have? I have a big backyard. I don't care the comps tell me 1.2. Put it at 1.5. Who cares? And then you hit them with that. We need to be 5% below 1.2.
Yes.
That's what the actives are listing and they're not selling. Right? And that's powerful because no one is really using statistics. Only MFO agents really use statistics. So your competition is not using them or doesn't even know how. So good reminder. Thanks for bringing that one up. All right, guys and gals. Well, I will be sending this recording out to you. Thank you for all joining in. We went a little bit through a few points. Listen back if you like at 1.5 speed so you can soak it all in. Put things together that 1 or 2 things that you could make money on, make those changes, improvements now. Don't put them off till tomorrow because you won't do it. And then I will talk to you all next week.
Sorry, Rene, just a very quick question,
Yes,
please.
Mark.
I did like the tone and body language, and
Yes.
this is what I am missing exactly. I'm representing the second example you did do.
Okay.
So how I practice to be happy and
If you're not naturally like that, that's a great question, Mark. You stand in front of the mirror and take the script book and you practice with yourself. And when you feel like you're more over the top, oh my gosh, I feel like a clown. I was just watching, they were talking about the Joker movie is coming out today. The Joker is really animated. He's smiling all the time. Then you start feeling like the Joker, that means you're just about right.
okay.
When you
So
start feeling like a clown, you're just about right level of animation and tonality. Because you can't come across as a clown, Mark. I know you. Good. Dwayne.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. One of the things I was going to say that I'm guilty of in the past is that when I'm speaking to somebody, sometimes I'm doing other things and I'm not really. So what I try to do now is stop everything I'm doing and just focus on the conversation. So because they're going to know if I'm focused and into their conversation versus trying to do something else. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be present whether it's in person or whether it's on the phone, and I focus on them. And I find if I do that, I find the feedback's pretty good.
Good. And
Yeah.
that's a good one, Dwayne, staying focused 100%. And with that, you guys are salespeople, professional salespeople. It's a show. Remember that, Mark. It's showtime. This isn't the mark that has to be with your family and friends. This is the mark for professional showtime to get the results. And if you have to just turn on that enthusiasm, excitement while you're prospecting for that little time, and then during presentation, that's just a part of the day. And then you dial it back down. So bursts of energy will do it. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for showing up. I know it's busy on the Friday to do. Thank you so much. Fantastic. If you have any questions, let me know. And send me your changes, and I will talk to you all next week. Have a great week.